Hi everybody, I'm Adrienne Egger, an artist, American artist living in Salzburg since over 25 years and here in Saint Gilgen since 3 years, and I'm excited to show you my paradise here that I get to call home. I started painting when my older boys were little, which is like 20 years ago. Just started out as a hobby painter, and I really fell in love with it as soon as I discovered oil paints. That was when I lost my heart to painting. It's a beautiful area and it inspires me every single day when I drive down to kindergarten, take my son to kindergarten. We say, hey, good morning lake, and we look and see what the natural landscape is giving us today, because every day is beautiful and every day is different, and that's what I really love about living here. My mother in particular was very, very critical of everything I made. I loved creating as a child, but it was difficult with my mom, being a single mom, and she was not really a working artist. We had it tough growing up. Moving around a lot, not really knowing what we were going to eat sometimes, staying with friends or people that weren't even friends while we were between homes at some points. And my mom was always very frustrated trying to work as an artist, and we felt that frustration growing up. So for me, there was no way I was going to be an artist. And I pretty much, I changed my major 3 times, trying to find something else that would be a calling for me, that would be more practical. But in the end, I think the art chose me. And I can't help it. So what I have been striving to do, I think, since I've started painting, which was, even as a young girl, or in high school, I was doing photography instead of painting. Painting was kind of like my mom's area. I didn't want to get involved. But when I picked up those paintbrushes and discovered the oil, that was just kind of like the end of it for me. I like to use old movie scenes. Like I said, it's also a very American trait of mine, I suppose. I like to use their old movie scenes from the 60s and 70s and even 80s and make a mashup and make them into a painting. It was really a golden era for the tourism of the area, and even the town itself kind of has that nostalgic feel to it. I didn't even know exactly where I was flying to when I got in the plane to fly to Austria. That's how little I knew about Austria before I was already in a plane on my way here. I was not overly interested in geography growing up or in high school. And yeah, it just was one of those, you see a lot of these princess movies at Christmas time, and it's always some little tiny country in Europe with castles. But that's exactly what Austria is, isn't it? And then when you get here and you're like, oh, what empire was here? And you dig into the history. When you're in Vienna and actually get to know what it means to be in the Habsburg, what that means for the culture, what it's meant for the whole culture here, having been such a prominent empire throughout European history, it really gives you a different perspective of what Austria and what it is and what it means to be an Austrian. I'm still adjusting and still getting to know people. They need time to get to know you because they do live here since generations, and homes are passed down from generation to generation. We've watched each other grow up, and anybody who comes into their hemisphere, is a stranger for a long time. So it does take time to get to know people here and for them to get to know you.